Hey guys, it's me. I'm Early. Art by Diana Myers, and this is my regular art page. I have a couple of groups, and one's a membership, paid membership, and one is a free art group called the Artsy Rose. And I am an art teacher and an artist, and I've been painting for a very long time. Like when dinosaurs roamed the earth, I was there. I wrote them all, So I've been painting forever. What I do now online, I've been teaching 5 years online now. I help acrylic painters that struggle with painting to become more skilled, inspired, confident on their artistic journey. That's my little spiel. Basically, I like to teach art, and I know a lot from so many years and so many classes. I'm self-taught, love to learn stuff, and I'm always learning new things. And we kind of reflects into my classes. I do all kinds of. Today we're doing like little essential stencils. They do stencils and they do these little rub-offs now. I'll show you what you can do with them. But I'm kind of like a palette knife artist, I've been doing that a lot lately on my own. And do a little more advanced stuff in my membership. But basically we're doing tracers and stuff. So I got a lot going on, and I like to share, and I'd like for you to come over and meet my people. We also got a little ATC group now called the Rose Chicks over in Messenger, because Facebook changed all that around. So let me put you the link up. That's my group. Every Saturday at 4 o'clock, Chat and Create. And tonight is Create with Diana. What I call it tonight? I forget what I call it. But it's every Thursday at 7 Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday at 4 in my group. And my membership people is every other Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's a lot of teaching, and I enjoy it. I now have like 137 public videos over on YouTube, Art by Diana Myers, or Diana Myers at the Artsy Rose, or Diana Myers 899. And I'm a little bit all over the place. I got a few things on TikTok. I got a few things on Pinterest. Been doing this like 5 years now. Not where I expected to be. I thought it would be a lot more different, but basically I'm teaching and I enjoy it. Like I said, mostly acrylic painting. I was an oil painter for 20 years, so, I like to try different things. So if you come on over and check some things out, we've done everything from salt dough, palette knife painting, to I do some printmaking with the jelly plate, all kinds of stuff. I think that when you're learning to do art, you should probably find out what you're good at. And you'll find that a lot of artists kind of switch back and forth. They change things up once in a while. I do watercolors. I've been playing with that a lot during the summer. We painted rocks this year. I do some inspirational reading. We're into the art therapy right now. So I'm all over the place, and you learn all kinds of interesting things. A little bit of junk journaling, and now the ATC group, they kind of took off on its own. I just was going to trade cards with a few people, but now kind of everybody does their own thing, But we got a little group over in, if you want to join, let me know. In the meantime, here's a little, I did this with a snowman with the carrot going up. I said, why don't I try it with the angel? So we're going to play around with the palette knife with some texture paste. And I also got, like I said, I'm an ambassador for Essential Stencils, and they make all kinds of wonderful things. You get a discount when you use my discount code. Here's a sheet of, one sheet I used up, so I can't even show it to you. And this is something new they're into last year. They gave me a bunch of stuff to do. You do what you want, but they gave me some freebies this year, which I was thrilled for. But I've been with them 3 or 4 years too. So these I cut off one of the sheets. So we're going to do these. How now, brown cow? That's Jo Allen. She's on here always making comments. I get paid for your contributions, anytime you want to sprinkle or share, or they call it jingling too, I think. you know, like, share, all that kind of stuff I get. And it isn't $1 billion, but every little bit helps. So let me put you up here, and we're gonna get started because people hate waiting. Get to what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I'm here to watch this or that. Put my name back in. I moved this around to do a big painting I got up here. I'm doing a big one for class. I usually do the big ones with the tracers for my other group. So this is, I was just kind of tweaking. I changed it a little bit. I wanted to do like a Christmas-based painting for them. Isn't that pretty? I had the canes more in white, but I decided to kind of darken them up a little bit. Isn't that pretty? So that's going to be our class. Our next class, I think, is I do a calendar for them every month so they can keep track. They can rewatch too. Next Friday night, and we do other stuff in there. We also do challenges in my other group. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on, so you come on over and find out what you want to do, kind of hang out and make some friends. In the meantime, let's get this started. I actually got these from the Dollar Tree, I think. Pretty sure earlier this year. And it's got like cardstock, you know, that you put your card on, and then it's got the envelopes. I mean, it was like, I want to say 7 or 8, 10, I don't know. So it really was a good deal, $1.25, probably $2 now. But anyway, so I got one of these cards out for that. Let me turn this around, show you what it's about. Like I said, this is an Essential Stencil brand. Stencils, that's what I do. I'll show you what I did. I didn't have none here because I mailed them out. I had to come up with some more. I hadn't planned on doing so many cards, and I had some, and I can't find the box. Isn't that the way Christmas time? There's presents all over, and I shouldn't complain, right? And food, and cookies, and all kinds of stuff. I don't know, which one do I want? So this is what I'm going to do. These are what they call rub-offs. Now, I know you've seen them all over. I don't think you're going to find ones like this with such good quality. I'm going to do this one around, but they are around. If you decide you want something from them, they were running a big sale right before Christmas. They're already into the, you know, earlier this year, early next year stuff, 2026. I usually throw a few ads out. They send me ads to put out. So with whatever their sale is, with my discount code, you get another 10%. And you know, you're getting 30, 40, 50% off. So yeah, they might be a little pricey, but you know, they're pretty good stuff. So you get what you pay for. But when they run a sale, they run a sale. I've gotten entire stencils for $5. Big ones. If you guys seen the one I did with the pink swan. It's like my favorite. I kept that. That's going to go on the door again in the spring. That was $5 marked down. Then I took my own 10% off. So what is that? $4.50 it cost me. And they have free shipping. I think it was free shipping that week. So be looking for their sales. Always check it out. Essential Stencils. And I will put the link down there. Now, currently, they were, I don't know if they still are. These are only a couple dollars, but they were giving these out free. Essential Stencils. So, I didn't even put my computer up, so I can't see who's talking right now. So I'm just going to do this. I have to go get my computer. I forgot it. I had everything ready on the table and forgot. I was too busy fixing this, messing with this painting over here. So now what you got to do is, once you measure where you want it, there's a backing on this. And this paper, I couldn't believe how easy that this one is. Sometimes it's a little tough to get something a little texture, but this one on this paper, beautiful. You get a little time to kind of adjust this if you don't like it. Just smooth it on there. You just take and give it a good press, mostly around the edges. And you'll see it, especially like on white paper, it might be hard, but you will see it lift on this paper. You'll see like it gets like in like a bubble kind of look. Mostly go around the edges. Okay, sometimes it doesn't, but I'll tell you, on this paper I was surprised how well. It's not real thin, It's not real thick. It's not like 120, 140. I'd say it's probably a 70, 80. You guys know what that is, pound paper. Not real thick, not real thin. I mean, for $1.25, whatever, so I thought it was a pretty good deal. We do a lot of card trading in that group, so I'm always looking for stuff to trade, you know. I save all my scraps. We do multimedia. That's another subject. So I play around with a lot of stuff, you know. You kind of explore and we learn together and try different things, and always got something set up for you guys to do, you know. We're doing a challenge right now for the month of December. Got a bunch of stuff on there. At the end of the month, I give Happy Mail. So there's a lot of activities. I mean, if you just come and hang out, just say, hey, you know, that's good for me. Moves my page out there, but also, you know, you might find a few things you're interested in, too. See, I'm just doing this. So now you should at some point be able to start lifting this up, and you'll see it starting to lift away a little bit. See, right there, it's just lifting away. Your piece is not coming up, you can go back and just repress it. It should come up pretty easy. I just want to stick right there, so I'll just give it a little push. It's very handsome. Very handsome. Ain't he pretty? Now they got a ton of stuff, and they're very like on trend. So like Nutcrackers are big right now, so they got a lot of Nutcrackers. So that's a good thing. So you can get what you want instead of hunting around, you know. If you're looking for a wedding or something. I'm loving the they got these right now, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these yet. I'll save them for next year, though, because I reuse a lot of their stuff. I got stuff for the spring already. They run a sale. They run it, you know, usually pretty early. If we turn around and show what else I did to this to make it very interesting, so it looks more like a card. I hope you guys can see. I haven't got my laptop right here. You see that? Yeah, okay. Which I will get when I get done finishing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, they had snowflakes on that thing, so I'm going to put like a couple snowflakes on the edges, and then I'm going to make a border. That you could do in white. I'm going to do in white, but you could do it in gold. So you will need some kind of acrylic pen or a Posca pen. I'm going to do these small ones instead of the big one. These, like I said, these go on pretty simple. This paper is excellent, really. Just take the back off. Just made me a big old cup of hot chocolate. Oh, guys, I don't know where you're from. I'm in central New York, just outside of Syracuse, a little town in Van Buren. Now, let me tell you something. Last 4 or 5 years, the lady was talking about, we really had pretty good winters. And we had a couple of Christmases, there was no snow. Well, it's back to normal. She says we all complained it was so bad last year. It actually wasn't, because we, like I said, bad. We kind of sit in a valley over here too. I think I'm out near a swamp now. We got little lakes all over and water. 3 Rivers is called. And we got like a little lake right here, and get all the lake effect from all the lakes. Thank you. We get a thing called lake effect. So it could be sunny out, and you get a little rain or something pass across one of the big lakes. And last week they said it was Lake Huron. I didn't even know that. That's up in Canada. And we got hammered, you know, 18 inches last week, I think. 6 and 12 and 11. I don't know. It did melt a little bit there for a little bit today. But then it gets us like this misty snow and then the sleet. Now it's dangerous tonight because the temperatures have dropped so low that, oh my God, guys. I don't even want to go outside. I canceled the doctor's appointment today. It's just an x-ray I get every year. All right, so see how I just kind of press them down. They're kind of small, so I want to make sure they don't move. So I kind of just push them down a little bit with my finger. It should come up pretty fast. Oh. I'll show you how I do a blur. Ah, there it goes. Just gives it a little something. I need a little something in the background. You don't have to do anything if you want to, but I kind of thought it was cool. It kind of came with them. It was on there anyways. So now I got a small. Posca pen. Make sure you shake it. I count to like 25, and then I've been using this today, so it's good. And I kind of give a couple presses. Not too much, because these things, they will leak if you get carried away. Then this is my new thing I've been doing. Just to kind of make a border. You can get pretty fancy with it if you want to. You can make a little loop, a little loop-de-loop. And if it's not real perfect, that's even better. I like it like that. Then you know it's homemade. So now you get yourself, you can put something on here if you want to. You can put joy. Want to? Or whatever. So you get the idea. Pretty gone on. You could do on one of the cards I did, one of the snowflakes, like right up here. You could put it over here, then I wrote whatever underneath. Or you could even use the pen and do some highlighting with that too. So that's one little project. Now I'm going to run real quick. I'm going to turn this around because we're coming back and we're doing this. So let me go get my laptop. This is what we're doing next. We shall talk about that. It's just like 3 steps away. I gotta go get my laptop. Okay, I got it. So, I'm kind of excited. I started this membership 5 years ago. And I started out a little more advanced stuff, and kind of some people came and some people went, and I came up with a whole different thing. I kind of do surveys to see what people want. And what they wanted was the tracers. It's easier. I'm teaching new people. That's what you want to do. Now, we do other stuff in there, but I do 2 tracers, 2 paintings, my design, nobody else's, twice a month. I try to do some requests once in a while. So anyways, I had to redo the site because it needed it. But I got hacked once, and I don't know, Facebook got rid of all the videos, and I had to store them on YouTube, which I was over there anyway, so it was fine. Long story short, so now I've been putting all my tracers in there. I figured there's going to be well over 50. Just the tracers. There's other stuff, palette knife stuff, advanced stuff. But, you have to get the videos, which I got a whole plan for that. So, anyways, I'm going to be reopening that at some point. I got to change this over to get you guys in, whoever wants to get in. I'm offering all my people a deal. It'll be soon. I got waylaid because of that Facebook changes. They've had a lot of changes this year. They always do. It seems like it's one thing after another. You want to go to groups. And anyways, it's shaping up pretty good. There's going to be well over 50, like I said, tracers. Way more than that, I'm pretty sure. I got all of last year's done. There's 2 a month. And I got a lot of stuff from years ago. So I'm going to release a few of those a month, and then I'm going to do the 2 lives with the new classes. And you'll be able to see all the ones with the tracers if you want the video for it, unless I don't release it, because a lot of them, then you just have to wait. Just no big deal, because I'll be releasing all the good stuff, I'm sure. And you guys will be rebuilding it with me, because you'll be founders again. My people that got in 5 years ago are still paying the same price, never goes up. And, they get to do all kinds of stuff too. Plus, they're in this group, and some of them are in the ATC group. So, but they get a little bit more. You get a lot more fancier stuff. Not real fancy, but fancier. And I think anybody that'd be interested in that is going to be opening real soon. And I haven't opened it in over a year. Maybe longer than that. I have to go look. All right, so am I in the right group here? The Arts Heroes group. No, I'm on the main page tonight, right? Okay. Sorry. Let me go back to the main page. So anyways, I have to change this all around. I keep forgetting I'm not in that group tonight. We're on the main page. So I'm hoping a few people would be interested. If you think you're interested, just put interested in membership. And you won't have to do anything, but if you are, I'll get a hold of you and we'll talk about it. Which I do all the time anyway, so big deal. All right, let me see if I can get over here, make sure I'm on the laptop one. See, I was going to do this, and I got so busy redoing that painting because I didn't like the way the candy canes looked, so I redid the candy canes. All right, log me in. I should be right on here. I used to do my my iPad, but I had problems with it. It never was right. It's a good iPad. It's an Apple, but you can't do as many things as you can like on a laptop, which I had to learn the hard way. Because, oh, wait a minute. Because I never knew a lot of this stuff. I had to learn all of it too. I had to start over and learn it all. All right, so I'm on here, right? I had to learn everything right from the scratch, just like you guys do. When you're learning art, you learn right from the beginning. Well, that's what I had to do. The only thing I knew how to do was a phone, and then I had one of those pay-as-you-go. So I had a salon. I didn't need all that stuff. Hairdresser, artist, you know. So I had to learn to use everything from iPhones to laptops to you name it. I had to learn just like you do during your art. So I had to kind of beat that learning curve. Here I am. And teach myself. I teach a little course. I teach some more little advanced things like left brain, right brain. And I'll be also teaching, we're going to do a board for the year. You know, you're kind of a life board in January. And anyways, I taught this left brain, right brain. I have the book and the lady who wrote it. Very interesting how a lot of people have their right brain, which means you're artistic, or your left brain. But actually, you can train your brain to be more artistic. And if you are more analytical, you can still be more artistic and become right brain instead of left brain is more analytical. Interesting, right? So anyways, to make a long story short, there's a lot of artists that are actually analytical. Their work's very precise. I think would be a good thing for somebody who does like portraiture and stuff. It seems like there's a lot of people that are more left brain in it. So don't get discouraged if you're just learning that you can train your brain to do different things. Okay, so let's get over here and do our little paper. Okay, what to do with it? Here somewhere. Anyways, we're going to do this angel. I'm going to show you how I did it. I got you guys up here. I can see you now. Who's up here? Nobody. Just good old Joe Allen. Well, there's a few people on here. I'm a little bit early. All right, so what I did to get this started, keeping it simple. You don't have to do it this way, but I find sometimes, no matter what kind of painting I'm doing, that if I kind of have a rough sketch of what I'm doing, it makes my life so much easier. So down here, I want a face. So you need to make a circle. Now, if you're not real good at circles, it's not going to matter. It doesn't got to be perfect. But you could use something. I think that's a little big. But you could find something and use that. A little small. I think this might even be better. So we'll go back to this. So you want to kind of make a face. Let's do this side. About dead center. Now I use, this is actually cardstock, not cardstock. This is watercolor postcards. I got this on Amazon. You have a lot of stuff. It was a good deal. I wouldn't have got it. Sometimes this is a good size. I can cut it down, and I can use this for making cards and stuff. You can cut it, do it in half and get yourself a card like that. So I'm just gonna. It's pretty heavy duty. I would say this is at least 120, 140. If you know what that means, it means it's a heavier paper. Okay, there's my face. But it doesn't gotta be perfect. In fact, I don't want it real perfect. So I'm just going to kind of, I don't want the pencil marks to show anyways. This is something you do in watercolor too. So I just want the rough outline of her face. Yeah, I don't need it quite that big either. And you can erase. Now I always recommend a white color eraser. It doesn't leave a lot of colors behind. And now what I want is I want her wings. So I'm just basically, you don't have to be exact, but just so I don't go over what I want her wings to be up in here. So I'm kind of doing a triangle like that. I was actually a little more exacting like that. I kind of went through and made sure that she actually had some ripples pretty evenly. But you do what you can do. You do you, boo. Erase just a little bit so it's not so much shows. Just a little bit. This is a little drawing trick. I actually have, when I do my watercolors, when I do my drawing, I draw, use this thing called a stump. And it's basically a pencil size eraser. It just kind of smudges designs in for you and erases a little bit. So now I know that I'm going to have a star right here. So let me just kind of give the indication. And I'm going to have a halo. So I'm just going to do like a half a circle. And all this does is now I got myself all set up so I know where to put my palette knife and my paint. You should do this even if you're doing something like a tracer or something similar to a tracer. You could take the tracer after you've drawn in your design, and you could take out things when you're doing it that you don't want. You would have to erase it before that, but like if I'm doing a tracer and I decide I don't want the ball in it or I don't want this one flower, I don't trace that in. And then when I got the tracer in front of me or the drawing, I can add extra things if I want to, and you can do that. So it's nice to have a little plan. That's why the tracers are so popular. Just to have a little plan. It hasn't got to be perfect. It's just got to be a good idea. That way you're not wandering off to the left or wandering off to the right, or it's a little off center, you know. And you can even, I have a eraser, or I have a ruler right here. You can, like, if you're worried about if it's even, you could take the ruler, you say 5 inches across, the middle down the middle. You know, it would make you feel more confident too. And all these things I'm telling you, these are things that artists do on larger scale. They do stuff like that. They measure things. They copy things. Even portraiture. They will put a light on it and they'll do it transparent and they'll put it onto a light and they'll put it right onto the canvas and get the basic shape. I do that with my paint your pet classes. It helps. And the same thing with like directions. If I want something to go off to the left, I'll make a little, I'll see if I have a little blue thing. That's where the sun's going to be. Or I want the chair to be this high. I put a little black line, you know, so because I'll stand back and I look. So this is why learning to kind of have a little direction will help you. So, okay, so that's enough. Okay, dang it. You just go on. I go on. Turn into a lecture. This is typical. Ask my children. Oh, don't ask Ma. Turn into a lecture. All right. So now that we know what we're doing, let's get some paint. I got this. I'm using just regular paint, acrylic paint. I got some Deco Art. And I mixed a little bit of this Bahama blue. It's just a light, pretty blue. One of my favorite Deco Art colors. That's why it's in the big bottle. And a little bit of this Stormy. It's just a dark blue. I have another one. I couldn't find it that I like a little better, but Twilight. It's okay. Just a little bit of both. I don't want it too dark, don't want it too light. But you can do it. You can do it black, and you could spray on some, you know how they do it, where they flick it, some paint if you want some more stars. But I just did it with the back of my brush, just trying to keep it simple. So now I'm gonna get a flat square brush. I'm gonna get a paper towel, and I'm just gonna paint this in here. Now you could do this large scale. That's why I'm saying we're doing this small, but you could take a big piece of canvas and do basically the same thing. Same thing, just think big. So I'm going to take both those blues, I'm going to kind of smush them together. More on the darker side, more of the darker blue. And I'm just going to kind of come in and just go through and color this. Paint it right in. Maybe a tad darker, I think. That's better. I'm not going to hit these wings. I'm just going to kind of go around. I'll show you what I did to get started, because I'm going to use a palette knife for this. But you could use a lot of other things. You could use a butter knife. You could use the back of a spoon. I would say you could use a credit card, but I think the marks would be really small, but that's okay too, because that'll work too. But those little dollar store, which do I have one here? Plastic knives work too. Sometimes, in some cases, they're actually better because, you know, when I get palette knives, I'm kind of fussy about my palette knives. I look for ones that are kind of flexible because I push, and you want that push when I'm pulling through the paint. So when I first started using them, because I didn't want my people to feel intimidated, I wanted to be able to use it. I said, well, you know something, I'm going to use this. Like, well, you know something? I said, these things aren't bad. And they're disposable, you know. So if I break them, which I've done. So see, now you got this thing going on here. So now I got this is a medium flat square. See how it's flat? Now I'm going to go to pretty small flat, or you could use any kind really. And I'm going to go through that light blue only. And I'm going to make lines with it and put some of the lines in the background blue. The reason being is when you paint, it's always dark to light. That way, the white that I'm going to use on these wings will show up better. You could do a light background all the way. I just made these lines like this to get me started, kind of give me a guide. You could do this with a palette knife too, but I'm just showing you that you're going to need a little color in the background. Just kind of dab it on here. I didn't do the whole thing. I just did like around her face. I want to leave some of that in the white over the corners. So then I just did like lines. And that's basically all I did to get it started. So it's got a little background color. That's it. Just keep picking up that blue. Now if you pick up some of that dark but it's not dry, that's actually very cool. Don't worry about it. It's going to look awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Gives it more texture, gives it more color. That's when you use oil paints that happens, and you learn to adjust. You know, Bob Ross did oil painting. That wasn't, he just did wet on wet, which I do too. Once you learn that stuff, I think that's why acrylics, when I went over to it, didn't seem so hard. Well, it's all hard if you've never done it, but one of the things I learned doing oil painting is letting colors blend. So if you pick out the right colors that are next to it, you can just let things happen. So it's important to pick out the right colors too, which is a whole nother class, guys. We won't get into that because I'm starting to ramble again. All right, so let's put some color on here. All right, so now we want to make the face. Before I hit this with a palette knife and get paint all over the place, I really want to get some color for the face. That's just a big circle. Keep it basic. I would do red and white to get a nice pink, or just pick up a pink if you got a nice light pink. I did so I got my palette. It's just paper plate is a mess. And I mix white and pink, white and red together to make a pink. And then there's a little trick to make it look more earthy. Just pick up a tiny bit of yellow. Just the corner of your brush. And when you mix it in there, you'll get more of a kind of a more human color. More white. These paints are drying out. I need to brush up the paints. Touch of yellow. And you'll get a very like earthy tone. Pretty simple. Get more complicated when you get into real stuff, but it's pretty simple actually. And you know, there's only so many colors. And you could use this in a lot of areas and it would be fine. So basically red and white, a touch of yellow will give you a pretty decent flesh tone. You can just use pink and white too. You can do that too. Doesn't matter. So I'm using the same brush. It's a dirty brush. I didn't really rinse it. It's got a little blue in there. That's okay. Where's my red? Mix my color still. I didn't make enough. And then a little yellow. More white. More white. Alright. There is my face. Now you could give her hair too. I didn't do that. I thought about it afterwards. And I also thought about, you could even put praying hands maybe. Or you could do, you know, hair, or maybe a little book, you know, like a Bible or song book. Or you could do, get pretty creative with this. I think you could. Very simple painting. You can have fun with this. Anybody that watches this later, make sure you put rewatch. Wait, my paints are drying out here. I gotta blend this a little bit. I gotta do it quick. If you're a slow painter, by the way, I've told many people this, you can just, the paints are drying out on you. If you've got a day where everything's drying out, just give it a slight mist with your water bottle. Don't like chonk it, you know, just a light mist. It'll keep working for you. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of fix that blue up too a little bit. So we're going to take the palette knife to this, and I don't want to worry about any of this being wet. Go. All right, so now, everybody's still watching? Everybody understand what's going on? All right. I think everybody's out shopping and cooking. I've been cooking. My daughter, my birthday was Sunday. She asked me what I wanted for Christmas. Well, I don't need too much. I got rid of a lot of stuff. I still getting stuff, but I've been wanting, I bought her for her birthday. I found a good deal on a fancy machine mixer. But I don't need nothing that fancy. But my problem is this hand. All of a sudden, I've developed this really bad case of arthritis. I'm probably going to need some cortisone shots. But I went to make cookie batter, you know. And it's real stiff dough. You know, and I had to use electrical. I busted one last year because, you know, I really get into the cooking. So I just bought a cheap one. So she bought me a beautiful, I'll show it on her, mixer. And it's just like apartments. You know, this is the trailer, but it's a new one, but it's a single wide. So I don't want it big, but it's beautiful, and I can't wait to play with it. So that's what I was doing earlier. I couldn't even get it out of the box. So what's wrong with me? It's old lady problems, right? All right, so let me turn this around. So that's what I was doing earlier. I was messing around with that. I got a new bread machine. Well, actually, technically, it's not a new bread machine. I had one for years. And it kind of was starting to go, but I fixed it and it was working good. You know, after my husband died, I really just wasn't interested in doing anything. But I've been wanting to make bread. Well, I have this one little issue. I have, you know, my hands are getting old. They're old people's hands. And the kneading, I never liked it. Well, anyways, I brought this bread machine with my senior discount. It was $10 at the thrift store. 25% off. They gave me 25% off birthday thing. $7.50. I put that thing on. It's a newer version than what I have. I had mine a long time. She's got it now. She's using it. And she was, oh yeah, you gave me yours so you get the newer one. I said, no. Anyways, I use that thing. Oh my God. I made the best loaf of bread. I've been eating bread. I don't really follow directions. I've been doing it a long time. Mostly I use the dough thing for the winding, you know, the kneading. And it did beautiful. So I think better my old one did. But I think the old one wasn't doing it quite as well. Anyways, long story short, I've been eating that bread all week, and it's so bad for me, but it tastes so good. So I'm going to be buying no bread no more. I'm going to be making my own again. And it's just me, so a loaf of bread lasts me, a week and a half, you know. But I've been playing with that now, too, so I love to cook. Well, it's hard for me to diet because I love to cook. All right, so you're going to need a palette knife. Now, you can use any size you want. I have a Palithra. Is that how you say that word? Palette knives. And this is just some. Yeah, it's just some of them. I have all different sizes. I have a bunch of stuck all over. I have big ones, little ones. Now, once you get into it, that's another thing. There's people who paint huge paintings and they actually, you know, those things you put cement down, trowels. You can literally use anything you want. That's why I said if you want to use a regular knife or if you want to use a spoon, it doesn't really matter. I'm actually going to use this little small one that comes in one of those kits because it's, you know, what I tell people when you're doing a regular painting, you get a small brush, small painting. So this is a small painting, so I'm going to use a smaller palette knife. But like I said, you can use anything. We're basically going to be using the tip and the side of this knife to get that look that we got on the painting. Where did I put it? Right here. To get this look. And you know, you want it to be a little bit raised. I mean, you could do this with just paint. There's thickeners you can buy, but what I did today is I'm just using texture paste. This is a Deco Art medium. Medium is anything that you use, paint, water. Your medium is whatever you're using. And I didn't tin it, I used it straight out of here, but you could take this out and you can color this. But because I didn't do that, I had to leave a little color in the background. I mean, it would show up kind of, but I think it shows up better. It's got a little color behind it. So I'm going to go right through, use it right out of here. And I'm going to get some on the tip and down the side. I'm not going to cover the whole thing because what happens is then you get too much paint. You want a little control. So I got on the tip and down the side. Just run it right in. Make sure it's just on the one side. Like that. Okay, I got a cord. I got a longer cord and it's driving me nuts. So then I'm going to come in. Let me do the tip first. Let's do the tip first. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to start making these little marks. It's called mark making. When you do this kind of stuff, it's called mark making. Now, if some of the paint is wet, it mixes in with the blue. That's cool because it makes it interesting. What's nice about this is you can be a little sloppy and it kind of looks good. It does. Then I'm going to kind of do some this way. We use mostly the tip and the side. You're coming into the side. And sometimes if you want some on the tip, like right here, you can just come in like a pencil. You can scrape it off. And just have fun. Now the other one I did in a different direction. Doesn't really matter. You can do it any way you want. If you decide you want a little more color on this side, you can go in and pick up a little blue paint. Put it down. Then dip back into your texturizing paint. Now, you can also, we did a class on that last year, and it dried beautiful. I still have it. We did just wings, nothing else, just wings. And I made a concoction of Elmer's glue, or actually all I had was wood glue, which was Elmer's, and baking soda, and I'm missing something. I think it might have been cornstarch. It was cornstarch because I'm out of cornstarch just on my list. And you get a very nice paste. And you can adjust the measurements of the stuff depending how thick you want it. You know, you have more cornstarch or baking soda if you want it thicker. Anyways, I did that last year, and it was a lot of fun. And it gave a nice raised look. And yeah, it's usually things you have right in the house. There's a couple different recipes. I don't know if I'm quoting it right, but there's a couple different ones. So now you got something that looks like wings. You could do Christmas trees with these too. I've done Christmas trees with these. I'm adding a little blue. And you can kind of maneuver the paint that's already on there just by simply slicing through it and dabbing through it with the tip. This has a nice round tip, so you're going to get a round look. If you get flat, if you go flat with it, you can spread the paint out more. And then after you spread it out where you want it, you can come through and shape it with the tip. So now you get one wing done. Hey, Lori girl. You watching from your brother's house? So there's one. Isn't that cool? Now that would make a good Christmas tree too. You can do that too. You can do a lot of things. Anything where you can do like foliage, like any kind of foliage, you can do it too. So any colors, you can do a lot of things. You get pretty creative with this stuff. And it's a little different, you know. I tell my students that when you're learning to paint, when you start getting into it, being a little bit different is a good thing. You don't want to be like everybody else. You want to find your place of what you want to do, but you want to be it drawing or painting. But just, you know, kind of give it a little one little thing that maybe nobody else is doing. I come up with a lot of stuff all the time, and I'm always trying to think, okay, everybody's doing nutcrackers. What can I do to make my nutcracker different? Everybody's doing angels. What can I do to make my angel a little bit different? And people like that. So, you know, it's a good thing. They call it the wow factor. You guys have ever heard that? Mostly applies to like higher-end painting, but it could be anything. It could be ceramics. And all it means is, I talk about this guy who gave this class, and this is, he was teaching about it. And he had, everybody got together and they had to, he gave them the theme. I think it was, we had to do a class sometime on shiny stuff. And I showed them how to do like a Pepsi can. It's in there in the group, in that paid group. And they all did the same thing in the class. And there really was all different things. He showed everything. When he got to that one, he said, just wait a minute. He didn't show him when he got up there. He turned it around. It wasn't a very big painting, and everybody went, wow. And the thing was, it was just a Pepsi can, but in a bag, I think it was a candy bar, but it was done in such a way with so much light reflection and just was so different and interesting. So it isn't like you got to do anything special. You just got to make it a little bit wow. Don't be afraid to go outside the box and make it a little more interesting. It's okay. That's art. In fact, be looking to make it a little different. That's what makes good artists. You know, using your brain to do interesting things. Okay, I'm going to put this back down. Isn't that interesting? It's true, too. So you say, well, he does the same kind of art, but I don't know what he does is so different. Like, you know, you'll find artists that, like, maybe you like their way they do portraits or something, you know. I need a little more blue to this one side. Wow factor. It's a thing, guys. It's a thing. It's a thing. I read all that stuff. I love all that art history. I love all that stuff. So I spend a lot of time. I'm in a lot of groups, and I just enjoy it, and I spread the news and share it with you guys. So this one I kind of I need to slice like I did in this side, so I'm going to slice this a little bit. Get too much paint, take it off, because it'll end up everywhere but where you want it. Be like trying to paint with your brush with just the bottom part. You got to use the end of it, you know. All right, so now if you get up here and your point, if you don't have to do tips really, but I did, and I kind of wanted to show a little bit, so I just took some blue paint and kind of adjusted, so I ended up with like more like wings, you know. You can come back at any point and adjust anything you don't like. Don't be afraid, just because the palette knife that you can't go through, you can. Let's cover this up. You can. Anything you don't like, you can adjust. All right, so now you should probably let this dry, but you know, I don't know how to behave, because you know I'm not going to do that. All right, so now all I did was I drew in the face with the Posca pen. And I actually, for the eyes, I just used a regular pen because I wanted to make sure they were really small. Now, if you got a small brush, you got a small Posca, but I just use a good old-fashioned black Bic pen. That worked great. And then I got paint on there. Then I did a mouth. She's singing, I think. She's singing. Get most of it in there, then I filled it in with paint. But you could use a lot of different things. And that officially makes this multimedia. All that means is you're using all different things. I had heard the strangest thing years ago, and I think it's true. They said that I was an oil painter, but I had signed it in acrylic with a pen, and they're like, well, that makes it multimedia. I had never heard that, but I guess it's true. But the thing is that I had years ago started doing the base of my oil paintings with our acrylic because it was a heck of a lot quicker instead of waiting for all those layers to dry. So I guess I was multimedia for a while. All right, so there you go. So now I took a very small brush, which I gotta find. My brushes need to be readjusted. I have this trick to get them, see how they sit in the water, to make them straight again, but I haven't done it in a while. But I am going to go and make kind of a, I need some more white paint. I'm going to kind of make a circle because I think for the crown or the halo, it'll show up a little bit better if it has, if you color it back in with some white. So I'm just going to kind of, you could even just do a half circle, like a C, but I kind of wanted a real kind of halo. It doesn't got to be perfect, just kind of get it in there. Just so I got a little bit of a base. Like that. See, I was thinking maybe doing like, you could do like, oh, I don't know, maybe praying hands, I thought would be cool. If it'll look right, but let's say get some white. You could do some praying hands, right? Does it look like praying hands? I don't know. No, I don't think so. What else could we do here? Let me think. What else could we do? Well, we could do like a little collar maybe, right? We could do a collar. Let me color that in first. Red, white, and yellow. Oh, I don't think that worked very good. Okay, so I got this thick, this is a texturizing paint. You could just let this dry and use some, this is the same company, Deco Art. I use lots of other stuff too, but I've been using this lately because I'm with this one group, I get 50% off. And these were actually sometime last year, earlier this year, they had a bunch of this texturizing stuff. They had a deal on it, so I grabbed because I know I'll use it, I grabbed a bunch of it. You know you're going to use something. You know how it is. You'll grab a little bit more. Of course, you know, this can be very expensive, but, you know, grab the deals. I mean, I shop at the Dollar Tree, too. I do have an Amazon list, and I don't always put stuff on there. I have all the books and stuff I read out of, art history stuff, inspiration. But it just gives you an idea of things that I use, so if you want to buy them somewhere else. And some of the stuff only comes in sets on Amazon. And I don't always buy sets, but it gives you an idea what I use. So if you go into the Artsy Rose group and scroll up to the featured area, you'll find my Amazon link. And it'll tell you what, oh, I gotta open it back up, what I use. I gotta go back. I think there's a few things I haven't put in yet. So if you're looking for something that isn't in there, just let me know. I'll get it in there. So now, same thing. I'm going to work off the side here. I'm going up and down, just on the side. You can do the same thing with the brush. You don't have to do this. I got stuff all over last time, so I'm trying to make sure I get nothing on my fingers. This stuff can be very sticky. In fact, a lot of people, I don't know if you know this, but Lori, but a lot of people who do this, they don't actually use acrylic. They use oil. I don't. I've been using this for quite a while now, but I'm going to try it in oil, but I haven't even tried. So, the texture painting. I think I did like a while ago, but I've been doing it so long in this now that I don't even think about it. I like texture painting, obviously, but I do this with a brush too. You don't have to do this with a palette knife. You can get this texturizing Just put it on real thick. You can get a really nice look too. No, come on, I can't get it to go where I want it to go. There you go. I just think it gives it a really cool look. Really cool look. Just kind of maneuver that around a little bit. All right. Now I went and I made some little stars. You can do that or not do that. It's up to you. This one side doesn't want to spread out. I don't know why, so we're just going to do a little bit with a brush. A little bit more. There you go. Now I did some in gold and some in white, and I just dip into the end of with my brush. I just kind of make a few stars here and there. It's up to you, but you can also do gold brush, little gold ones too. So now you get yourself a cool card. This will fit into a pretty good size envelope. Or you could frame them. I think these are like 5 by 8.5. I think they're 5.5 by 8.5, which is a pretty standard postcard size. I think this one came up better than the first one. I could smell. I got spaghetti squash roasting in the oven. Good time to cook. Use that oven to keep the house warm. Oh, I think this one came out a little better actually. Yeah. I'll take pictures and post them. And then we did, now post Essential Stencils. If you want to use my link, it's Diana Myers. All capital letters, no breaks. And it'll just be discount. It'll be discount. 10%. You do it at checkout. If you buy anything, at the end, just at the, when you're checking out, it'll say your discount code. It's just Diana Myers. All capital letters. Or is it Diana's Deals? I'll put it in the bottom here. What is it, Lori? Diana Deals? It's Diana Deals. It's not Diana Myers. Diana Deals. DIANA DEALS. All capital letters, no breaks. You can make it when you get home. Yeah, but this could be, like I said, if you follow the rules I set for, how you would measure this, you could do this in any size. 5 by 7, 16 by 20, even a small ATCs. Just follow the basic rules of circle. The way I did the wings, you could basically do it. It's pretty easy. This is, I'm sure there's something similar out there, but you guys remember that snowman that I did? It was very popular 2 years ago. I was doing a lot of paint parties. And the carrot nose goes up and there was a star in the sky. That's where this came from. Diana Deals, right? Okay, it's all capital letters. DIANA DEALS. So, why I put Diana Myers? I don't know, I'm losing my mind. And then we did this, so make sure you put that in there to get your discount. Just go over and take a look, So that's it pretty much for tonight. Like I said, there's a link there if you want to come over and see what we're doing. All kinds of stuff going on. What are we doing Saturday? I'm not sure. I got lots of stuff to do. Trust me on that. Lots of stuff. I just mostly concentrate on my Christmas stuff this week. I got to start wrapping. I've been doing cookies. And I did some, artwork for these guys. It took me all morning to do all my mail. Between the people I mail cards to, my ATC people, and my prize winners, and just a bunch of stuff. So that was like an all-morning event. And then I had to clean the car off. Luckily this year I actually hired somebody to do the driveway. He does my stairs and everything. Praise the Lord. I would have been out there forever. I came in and wrapped myself under my heated blankets. I got a hot chocolate. Oh my God, I can't take it. I'm too old. So anyways, guys, I will see you Saturday. And we'll do, usually I let everybody know what I'm going to do. I usually post, go over to the group. and I will post it. Now, if you have problems, you guys that have been around for a long time, if you are having problems finding me, it's just Art by Diana Myers. If you don't like and share and all that, sprinkle and share the love and all that, the bots don't know. We all got I got my own personal bots. Okay, we all got our bots. And if the bots don't think that, you're interested, they won't. If you guys ever notice when you're scrolling, and if you like a link, you sit there and you watch, could be about anything. And then 2 minutes later, there's another one, and another one, and another, well, same thing. So then when you go to find me, it'll show up easier. Or if you'll get notified, but you don't always get notified. I was doing that remind. It's a thing teachers use. I might go back to that, but that doesn't always work either. So just make sure that you, yes, love, like, share, whatever you want to do. Hey, girl, tell us where you're from. Anything you want. Talk. I get a little money, not just pennies really a lot of times, but it also spreads me out without having to pay anything too, and that's always a bonus. I don't pay. I do it natural, I just let it happen. So I will see you guys Saturday at 4 o'clock. Make sure you check to see what I'm doing. It'll be something Christmassy. So, all right, guys. Oh, thank you, Lori. Thanks for the stars. Have a great night, and as always, I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. And guys, make art. Make lots and lots of art. And I'll see you later. And thanks for visiting. Bye, guys. Thanks again, Lori. Bye, guys.